Hi, welcome back to Heart Interviews with CEI Heartland. Today, I have Miss Theresa Staryak with CPM. Hi, Theresa. How are you?
Kathy, I'm good.
Good. Thanks for being here today and agreeing to do the interview.
Oh, I was excited when I got your email because I've watched a few of these and I like them. I like getting to see kind of the personal side of people. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, good. We were kind of chit-chatting beforehand, so we're like all ready to go. We were catching up because we haven't talked in a while, so it's perfect. It's perfect. So let's get started. So do you know how long you've been involved with CEI?
Yeah, I'm on my 5th year with CPM.
That's 5. Wow, I didn't know it's been that long. That's awesome.
Yeah. I started, I think November the 7th. So this November 7th will be a total of 5 years. And right after I started and, kind of got introduced to the company, I went to the Christmas party. And then right after that, Bob pretty much wants the entire company to be part of CAI. He is a strong supporter of you guys. So
CAI.
Yeah, exactly. So
thanks, Bob.
Yeah, give him a plug. So right at 5 years.
That's awesome. And we're so happy because you jumped right in. Tell the group what committee you're on for CEI.
I'm on the membership committee, and it's fun. There's a lot of different committees out there, and I like to talk.
Me too. We have that in common.
Yeah, I like to talk, and whenever I see a vendor or anyone out there, the first thing I ask them are you a member of CAI? Because if you're not, I can't work with you. So sorry.
Thank you for doing that. I mean, it's because of managers that do things like that help us, that help the organization. So thank you. We really
no problem.
That.
Yeah, and I remember one of the first ones that I had joined CAI. He does pond dredging. Like, we all have ponds, but we don't have a lot of vendors for that.
Yeah,
and I was just chatting with him, and I'm like, so, do you get a lot of work? Da da da. And he's like, yeah, sorta. And I'm like, do you know about CAI? Let me pull up the Facebook page.
I love that. I need to hire you.
That is how easy it is. Pull up the Facebook page, send the link.
There you go. I love it. So I think I probably know the answer just from what you said, but was there something or somebody that encouraged you to get more involved with CEI? It sounds like it was Bob.
Well, yeah, it was definitely Bob in the beginning. I mean, obviously we were all part of CEI, and anytime you guys are looking for any kind of volunteers, Bob's like, I want everybody there. I want everybody at the trade show. And I just really liked, I love volunteering with CAI. And so when opportunity came to join the membership committee, which is something I already do, it only made sense to come on in.
It's the perfect committee for you. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
I love it. So I know it's been a super challenging year for everyone, all of our members, everybody. But what's the most challenging thing that you're facing right now in the industry?
Right now, it's still that there is a backup on materials, labor shortage. There's everything. I don't think anyone wants to hear, well, it's because of COVID. Nobody wants to hear it. The owners don't hear it. The board members don't want to hear it.
They're tired of it. They're tired of hearing it. Yeah.
Hear it either, but it's true. Everything is backed up because of COVID, and so unfortunately there's a lot of stress out there with the owners, because some owners lost their job, so now they're still at home and they're watching the grass grow, and they're upset because it's not cut. So when they call me and I'm like, well, it's because of COVID, they're like, really? So I think it's just things taking a little bit longer to get back to normal makes it really hard in this industry.
I agree. That's kind of like a common what a lot of people are saying that in these interviews. So we're not alone. Hopefully we'll keep moving forward and things will get better. Let's cross our fingers, right? So
I mean, on the positive side, the pools are open now, so at least
yay!
That was a bad year last year.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Go to the pool.
Yes. So do you have a favorite CEI Heartland event that you like to go to every year?
I would honestly say it's a toss-up between the Christmas party and the trade show, because both of them and the golf event. Okay,
There's three.
I haven't really found any that I don't like, but if I had to pick between the CIA trade show and the Christmas party, honestly, I would say the trade show, because I love people. I like the free stuff.
Gotta get the freebies, right? Yes.
I needed some doggy bags because there's a shortage of those, and I'm like, I know, right? Oh, yeah, I know, right? It's whatever, but I'm like, and everywhere I look, I can see stuff that was from the trade show. But I always liked going to those kind of things anyway. So you go there and it's, kind of, you're not stressed because you're not at work. You're not trying to do stuff. You're just there to hang out. I would say the trade show. And I was sad last year, actually, yeah, when we had to postpone it for this year, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm excited. It's coming up very, very soon. And
it is.
I'm ready. And it's not because I did win the handshake 2 years in a row.
Hey, you gotta be there to win. Someone's gotta win, right?
So I did, yeah. So, but I don't know what we do this year, like fist pump, I guess, maybe, or
I don't know how we're gonna do it either. It'll probably be an elbow. I'm not sure. We haven't crossed that on that bridge yet, but we'll figure it out, because trade show is August 26th in St. Louis for those that are listening. So we hope to see you guys there.
And there's no chance of snow.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot though, but that's okay. So dress appropriately. Do you have a favorite CEI Heartland memory?
Yes, actually. I don't even know why it took me so long to figure this out. Christmas party a couple of years ago, I got the Manager of the Year award, which I don't have the plaque with me, but it's at work. And I was actually this was budget season. I was stressed to the max. I might have gotten rude with a few people at work, possibly.
Possibly.
It was the worst. Like, I was probably in a mental breakdown where I probably could have cried. And I think any manager out there is we all know we go through it when budgets come out, when all that stuff. And I get a call from Kathy, and she's like, hi, and, we all love Kathy because she's so sweet. But she's like, I just wanted you to know that you got nominated for the Manager of the Year award. And I said, what? Like, tears were going down my face. I'm like, are you kidding? And she's like, no. And she's like, so we're going to give it to you at the Christmas party. So if you could, have a little, whatever you want to say when you're there. And I was just like sitting there completely in shock, because I'm new to the industry. I've been, this is my 5th year with CPM, and I was at another management company for 14 months before that. So I am pretty new compared to a lot of the people in the industry. I would have never expected to get an award. So, it was a big night. We come to the event. My husband was with me, and then Bob got up, and he just said the most amazing things, where I was just never even expected that. So I would say by far that was the best memory that I have. I've got my plaque at work. It was a tough year to hold up to the Manager of the Year, but
you did it though. You did
it. And it was just, I've never I think the only other time I won something big was at Cosmic Bowling, and it was a trophy for the worst Cosmic Bowler ever. So this was
way better.
way better. Definitely way better.
You are so deserving of it. And that is probably my most favorite part of my job, is calling people to tell them that they won something.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I remember that. Yes, all too well. So
it totally changed my attitude, because, I was like, okay, I am appreciated, and my job, people do recognize that this is a hard job. And so, yeah, it was very exciting, very exciting. So
I love that. So as a committee member, For membership, what would you tell somebody if you're trying to, maybe if you're talking to a business partner that's not a CEI member, that doesn't really know who CEI is? What would you tell them to try to encourage them? Like, what's your spiel that you tell them?
Yeah, I pretty much say the same thing. I'm like, well, do you know about CAI? And they're usually like, nope, what's that? And I said, well, it's an organization that links property management companies with vendors. So, you got to think about like CPM. We have over 200 associations we manage. And you got to think a lot of those are condos. So there's a lot of work that has to be done in condos. So I ask them, you stay completely busy 100% of the time? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, let me tell you about this great group that I belong to. And the very first thing that my company does is we open the CAI book to see, are they a vendor when we're looking for that. We don't just go to the yellow pages, because who knows what you're going to get. Mm-hmm. And every single CAI vendor that I've dealt with, it seems like they put us kind of priority. And when it comes to work, hey, we got you out of the book. They're like, we want to stay in the book.
Good. I love that.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I tell them. And then I usually ask if they have a Facebook page. I mean, I recruited somebody at a home and garden trade show, and I'm like, hey, do you have Facebook? Yeah. Well, let me send you the link to go to Kathy, and they joined too, So that's kind of what I do. And then I see them at the trade show, and they're got a booth, and I'm like, how are you doing? They're like, we're so busy. So, I think that this is a great group of people to get involved with. So it's pretty much how I get them in the door.
Well, you're good at it. So keep doing it, girl. Keep doing it. We love it. We love it. Is there something that our members might be surprised to hear about you or might not expect about you?
Yeah, actually, I don't know, the background looks a little different than what some people have, but 3.5 years ago, my husband looked at me and said, hey, you think we could buy an RV and move into it? And I'm like, okay, like, what are you going to do? So the next day we went and picked out an RV and a motorhome, and we moved into it the end of January, 3.5 years ago. So we're on our third RV. It's what happens when you get one. You always want a better one. But yeah, we live in a 40-foot diesel motorhome. It's got 4 slides, 2 sets of opposing slides. And I took Kathy on a tour before.
That's awesome.
Before we started. And, at work, you're dealing with people who live in condos. They live above someone, below somebody, and they hate their neighbors or something. They don't like something. One thing that's kind of nice is if we don't like who we're living by, we just move.
That's true.
So, we're stationary. We have we're in a park. We got a great patio set up, lots of flowers. And in fact, one of the nice things is today the electric went out about an hour before this call happened. And I flipped the generator, everything came back on, the air conditioning and everything came back on. So, we're pretty much, we can do everything from this and we don't need anything from the outside. But this is our tiny home. And my husband at first wanted to move into a boat. That wasn't going to work. So, so we live in a 40-foot diesel pusher.
So how hard was it? I have to ask you this. How hard was it to kind of downsize and get rid of some of your stuff? And I mean, we have a 2-story house. I can't even imagine getting rid of so much stuff to downsize, but it's got to be freeing, I would think.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we were renting a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home. And, we just started, I said, well, we got to get rid of most of this stuff because you're not going to fit it in an RV. And it was kind of funny because I'd call my husband at work. I'm like, somebody just bought our bed. So we are going to lose our bed in 4 days. And then a little bit after that, I'm like, somebody's coming this weekend to pick up our big screen TV. And our recliners are going and this is going. And I sold a bunch of dresses. And we either sold, gave away, or donated almost everything. And I've got this picture on my Facebook page of this little bitty pile of stuff in the corner that we kept. And you just don't, you realize when you live in tiny living that you don't need all of that stuff. Everything. And I think it still kind of freaks some people out because they're like, where are you going to take a shower? Like, where are you going to
shower?
Like, yeah, I got a big shower here.
You got a good shower. Yeah.
We got a dishwasher. We got a washing machine and stuff. So, it's definitely interesting. We did, speaking of COVID and all that wonderful stuff, we did work from home for 2.5 months during COVID, sitting at a small, we just bought this RV. So the last RV was smaller, sitting at a small RV table. Me and my husband, we had 2 laptops, 4 monitors, 2 keyboards, sitting across from each other. Like, I could poke them in the eyeball if I wanted to.
And some days you might have wanted to, right? Sorry, Paul, but yeah.
Yeah, I probably did. For 2.5 months. And my husband works at CPM too. So he'll get a phone call. And then if I get a phone call, I had to go to the bedroom to take my phone call. So it was a lot of closeness, should I say, during that 2.5 months. Like, I'm glad to be back in the office. But I really think that's why we ended up with a bigger motorhome, because we're like, if we ever have to go through something like that again and have to work from home, we want to have a little bit more space.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
But on the positive side, Kathy came up with a great thing, a happy hour during COVID, which was on Fridays, like, 3 or 4 o'clock. So we joined in on happy hour, and believe me, that helped a lot.
Happy hours always help, especially during COVID and quarantine.
When you work 40 hours, at that time our RV was 37 feet long. And when you work 40 hours in an RV with your husband, you need a drink at the end of the week.
I told her beforehand, I'm like, look, you guys must really like each other, because I don't know if I could do that with my husband. I love him, but I don't know if I went that close to quarters. So
yeah, we hear that a lot from people. It's like, you work with him and you live with him and you're in that small of a space. How do you do it? We do have challenges, everybody does, but actually in 3.5 years, I think we've made it this long in a space like this. I think we're good to go. But he actually wanted to go smaller. He's like, we should get a smaller one. I'm like, oh no, we're going to get the biggest one they have. They don't come much bigger than this one.
You need your room. You need some division, just a little bit. Yeah.
Let me close 2 doors.
Yeah. Exactly.
You're going to sleep in the car.
Oh, that's funny.
Sorry, Paul, I know you're watching.
Don't tell.
No.
So, tell us a little bit about your duck.
Oh my God. So
you got to mention your duck since you talked
about
RV.
So we live on a property right across from a lake, and we've been in this particular spot. What's nice is we moved from 3 streets away to this street because a better spot came up. You can't do that in a condo. No. But, went around the corner and just pulled it in. So anyway, so these ducks just appeared one day, and I was like, oh, hey. So we started feeding them some food. And now we've lived in this particular spot for 2 years, and they know when we wake up, they know when we come home from work. We now have 12 ducks. They're like my foster ducks. They're the cutest. I probably have more videos of my ducks on Facebook than anything because they're so cute. But and in the wintertime, I was so worried about them. I was trying to figure out how to get them inside the RV, but Paul's like, yeah, that's not gonna happen. But they come up to my car when I get home. They wiggle their little tail, and I bought them a splash pad so they can get it, so they can play.
I love it. If you're not following her on Facebook, you need to be. Just saying.
I know. After I bought the splash pad, I'm like, does this make me like a duck lady?
It totally does, but I love it. I love it.
Totally. Yeah. Now we do also have 70 geese that show up here in the summertime, and I'm not. Yeah, like they can stay in the lake, but start creeping over like little dinosaurs. Like my cameras will go off all the time, and I'll look and I'm like little bitty dinosaurs walking in front of my house. But we have our own relationship with them. But the ducks, my God, they're so cute. And they're so fat. Like everyone's like, they're really fat. I'm like, yeah, it's my fault. COVID, you can't help it if you gain weight.
Yes, hello. It's like the freshman 15, COVID. I think
we all got a little chunky during COVID.
What else were we supposed to do? Hello? Just saying.
You have to eat. I mean, we were trying to survive, and chips.
You got to do what you got to do.
Chips Ahoy and Oreos, man, we survived.
That's too funny. Okay, so now it's time for rapid fire questions. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay.
I think so. I'm nervous.
I love these because this is where I find out more details. Okay. First one. What's your favorite zoo animal?
My favorite zoo animal, I kind of like giraffes.
My daughter likes giraffes too. Yeah, that's a good one.
Cute. Yeah, I like giraffes.
What is the last thing you recorded on TV?
Well, let's be honest. I don't even hardly know how to turn my TV off.
Maybe I should ask what's the last thing Paul recorded on TV?
So, probably if you're asking what the last thing recorded when I had a VCR, I could probably answer.
Again, that's been a long time then. Okay, not a good question for you. I'll remember that.
I'm pretty bad with electronics.
Okay, do you watch TV or?
Yeah, we actually last night just watched the last episode of Superstore.
Okay.
And it's actually based out of St. Louis, or at least it's St. Louis. It's like a Walmart, and they go through. Well, this is 6 seasons, and they actually went through the whole COVID and everything with the mask and stuff. And Superstore, and it's so funny, funny.
Check that out. I haven't seen that one.
I cried.
I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of like Netflix and Hulu more. So
that's actually it's on one of those. I don't.
Okay.
One of those.
Check it out.
But if it means anything, I cried at the last episode last night.
Oh, okay. That must be good.
It's so embarrassing, but
I'm a crier too. I cry during a lot of commercials. So that's just who I am. So I get it.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite movie?
I do. Wow. See, I wasn't even.
You weren't prepared for these questions.
Actually, one of my favorite movies is probably Say Anything.
I like that one too.
I do too. Love it. Absolutely. But
gotta hold up the.
Yes. Oh my God. Hold
it. Yes. 80s classic.
Love anything from the 80s, but anything with Adam Sandler in it, I love it.
Yeah. He's good too. Yes, absolutely. Do you collect anything besides ducks? Can't just say it.
I do collect ducks. Since I used to collect stuffed cows and different things like that, but obviously since we've shrunken our life, I would say right now what I'm collecting is, if I had to say collecting, would be nativity scenes. We sponsor 3 kids with Hearts and Hope, 3 kids from Uganda, and the people over there actually make these nativity scenes, and I think we now have 4. So I guess if I'm collecting anything right now, it's nativity scenes. Yes,
I'm hoping to get one at the auction later on in August. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really. You only have them out for a certain. Oh, and actually, we collect leg lamp stuff, like from a story. Yeah, we got.
I love that. Okay.
Ornaments and things like that. So, yeah, kind of 2 different things, I guess.
It's cute though. It's cute. Okay, now here's a serious question, or a little bit more serious. Do you have like what's your biggest fear?
Probably drowning, actually. That's one of my fears. And I know when we went to Florida a couple years ago and we were driving and I looked at the map and there was water on both sides, I freaked out a little bit and thought, what if the water just goes up really quick? Sure. So that probably would be my biggest fear, would be drowning.
That's definitely one of mine too, actually. Yeah. I'm kind of afraid of heights and stuff too, so I can relate to that.
Totally, yeah, definitely.
Is there anything you wish you would come back in? Oh, I'm sorry, I said it wrong. Is there anything you wish would come back into fashion? Since you're an 80s girl, it sounds like I'm anxious to hear this answer.
I would say MC Hammer pants.
MC Hammer
be
pants.
honest,
There you go.
they're the most comfortable pants ever. And I've got a great picture of me with some orange and some splashing colors and things on that. I loved them. And then I used to have these black pants that had these little flappy things with a button.
Yes, I had those too. Yes.
Those and MC Hammer pants and probably BK high tops.
Okay, so what color were your pants? I have to ask. That flapped.
Those were black, totally black.
Okay. Mine were mustard yellow, believe it or not, back in the 80s. And those are one of my favorite pairs of pants. That's so funny.
I tell you, they were so comfortable though. They weren't leggings because I'm too tall for leggings. But the flaps, I don't know, they were like triangle shapes. And then you just put together.
Yes, but they made everybody look good. I think, at least. So.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, what year did you graduate from high school? I have to ask that now.
91.
91. Okay, so you're a little bit younger than me then. Okay.
Yeah.
So who is the most intelligent person you know?
Who's what?
Who's the most intelligent person you know?
Oh, well, I don't really want to give a shout out to my husband, but he knows a lot of stuff that I would never know. Like, just recently we were driving to Alabama and I'm like, well, that's really weird. It's a pop-up rain. He goes, the cornfields are sweating. I'm like, what? And he's like, well, yeah, when it's a certain temperature, the cornfield sweat and so many gallons of water can fall. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're making that up. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. So
wow.
My husband's pretty book smart.
That's awesome.
I didn't know about the cornfields. So
I didn't either. So thank you for educating us, Paul.
And let me tell you, cornfields freak me out too because of Children of the Corn, just saying.
Me too. My kids don't think that movie's that scary, but that was definitely one of the ones that terrified me as a kid. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree with you. I agree. What is one thing you will never do again?
Honestly, probably go down one of those really, really tall, steep slides that go into water. Because although it feels really good to have your heart fly out of your chest at the top, I've heard some horror stories about people flying off of those.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh, and no roller coasters ever again because I can't do those. So I would say if I go to amusement park, anything that you have to get into, I'm not getting into. I'm just going to walk. So
you don't want to get trapped on them, right? I get that.
Let's just say amusement park rides. We'll just put them all in there as one big lump.
There you go. Hey, at a certain age, you kind of stopped not wanting to do that as much, or at least with me. So, yeah.
When I got sick on a ride in the kiddie park at Six Flags, it's the Kiddie Buccaneer.
Yes.
I got sick on that ride. I realized that probably rides are not in my future.
Are not your thing anymore, right?
No.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Kind of embarrassing to throw up after get off a kid ride, but it happened.
Do you remember I'm totally dating myself, but do you remember like the Highland Fling? Do you remember
yes.
that one?
Yes.
That one always made me sick, and I would go on it repeatedly. My friends would be like, "Come on, go on it again," and I would always get sick on that one. You mentioned Six Flags, always. So anyway.
That's a bad ride. Yeah,
it is. I don't even know if they still have it. Do they still have that one? I haven't been to Six Flags in years.
I don't know if they do. Actually, I haven't gone in a couple of years. I'm not sure if they did, but I far away from that stuff. Anything spinning around in a circle, that's not me.
Yeah, I can't do it. Well, I definitely couldn't do it anymore, but I didn't do it very well when I was younger either.
Yeah.
If you could choose to do anything for a day, anything you want, what would it be?
Probably take a long nap. I love taking naps.
You know what? That's so funny you say that though, because I think sleep is underrated. Like my husband's not a napper at all, and I am like, there is nothing better than a good Saturday afternoon nap. There's just nothing better.
That's right.
I'm all about the nap.
Yeah, sometimes on like Mother's Day, when my kids were little, and it's like, what do you want to do? I just really want to take a nap. Like, just don't bother me.
Really, and then you just. I mean, are you one of those people that feels like rejuvenated after a nap, or are you like really tired after a nap?
It has to be at least a 2-hour nap, but no more than a 3-hour nap.
Yeah,
that's where it goes from. I feel really good about this to what did I
do? Yeah, it was too long. I have a friend that can take a 15-minute power nap. I'm like, 15 minutes? I might not even be asleep yet. That's not a nap. Yeah, 15 minutes isn't a nap. It's got to be 2 hours. I agree with you. 2 hours is like the perfect time, I think.
You know, I mean, why not like have hammocks at work? Let's just say.
Ask Bob and Jane. They might say yes. You never know.
We can schedule time to take a nap.
Well, power nap. There you go. There you go. So last question, during quarantine and the pandemic, was there, did you like, I don't want to say bond, but did you like get closer to any CI member during that time?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it's not necessarily COVID related, but, you know, I really did form a really good relationship with Brandon at Atlas Restoration over the last couple years. I've had some sewer backups, water leaks, and things like that at one of my properties. And even my first RV that we had a flood. And I would call Brandon, and 30 to 45 minutes later, he was on the job, and makes your job a lot easier, you know, as a manager, when he says, you know what, Theresa, let me handle this. I'll make the phone calls for you. I'll take care of it. And, you know, with the amount of money that he's probably saved my association because of water issues and getting it cleaned up as quick as he can, I highly recommend him. And you know, I know we've got a lot of good restoration companies out there, but he's the one that I've formed the biggest bond with over the last couple of years.
That's awesome. So
funny too.
Brandon. That's awesome.
Yeah, he's super funny too.
I hope he's watching. We'll have to let him know that we were talking about him. So
yeah, definitely.
Last part of the interview is we give you 30 seconds to either plug your favorite charity, you can plug your company, you can plug a little bit of both. So go. Well,
I'm going to plug, oh my gosh, did I just...
You're fine. You're fine.
I cannot believe it. Okay, so when I started working at CPM, we also one of our vendors that we have is Andy with Sorta Pro. And him and a couple people formed an organization called Hearts and Hope, which they join with those over in Uganda, the kids over in Uganda. So we went to one of the events that they had and saw a cute little kid on the table. Her name was Violet. So we brought her into our family. Now I'm getting weepy.
Aww. Don't get me started.
So since then, we sponsor 3 kids. We've got Violet, Eminem, because we had a hard time saying her first name, so we nicknamed her Eminem, and Atham. 3 little kids that all live in Uganda. You know, and during this COVID, you know, you think about what's happening over in the States, and you think you've got it so bad, and then you see what's happening over in Uganda. You know, and Hearts and Hope. And when these kids couldn't go to school, like our kids couldn't go to school, that meant they couldn't eat because they get fed when they come to school. So now these kids that we're sponsoring, they're not eating. So what they did at Hearts and Hope is they said, you know, we need to get food over to these. We need to get seed over to them so they can start growing their own food. And then any kind of personal protective equipment and things like that. So they did that for the kids and the families and stuff. And, you know, we get to keep an eye. You know, they send videos and pictures and things like that. So, you know, I just love Hearts and Hope. I really do. And then you've got CPM, who is a big sponsor of Hearts and Hope. And I believe within our company, we sponsor 18 kids. So
that's amazing.
Yeah, it makes me weepy thinking about them. And one day I will go to Uganda and hug every one of them. So
no, if I didn't hate to fly, I think I would love to do that too. Because I have 2 that we've adopted, and yeah, I would love to do that too. But I hate to fly so bad. I don't know if I can do it. But
it was kind of cute because one of the kids asked if I could give him a cow, and I'm like. It's like I went to India. I'm like, what do I do here? Clearly, we can't buy a cow for him, but you know, So Hearts and Hope, and then of course, CPM sponsoring that is amazing.
Yeah.
So
I forgot I didn't have you draw anything. So you still have your piece of paper? I usually do that before I have you do that, but I went to remember. So because we were talking about your duck.
Oh God,
draw me a duck.
Okay, you got to understand that this
it doesn't have to be good. It just has to resemble a duck. So you can have a duck following.
I think
have you named your ducks, by the way?
Yeah, we've got one that's broke foot because he's got a limp.
Oh.
We've got one of them that has a little poofy thing on his head, so we call Top Knot. And, he's all black, and then we've got a gray one that's Top Knot Junior. She's a female, but like she has a little poofy thing on her head. And we had another one that we named Broke Wing, which he was actually a goose who had a broken wing, and we saved him. Yeah, we called the geese piece, and they actually saved him. So we have a soft spot for geese. We're not just the duck people only. This is a really bad picture. And
no, I'm sure.
This does not look like anything on mine.
You gotta show us.
There is one thing familiar with this picture. It's the belly. And you see the top knot up there, right?
I love it. You draw like me. You draw like me, so I love it. This has made my day. So thank you.
I know, and just so everyone knows in the duck community out there is I learned a lot about them. The ducks that have like the flat feathers on the back, those are females. And the little curly feather on the back, those are males. So
the males have to be a little fancier to draw the girls' attention,
They really do.
Yeah.
So that was one of the first things I had to learn, who's the girl, who's the boy, whatever. Yeah. So anyway, this is really bad.
I love it.
I don't even know what's happening here because I don't have...
I was thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say it. So I love it.
See that? When they see me, they smile.
They come and waddle. So Theresa, thank you for doing this. This was a lot of fun.
It was.
We appreciate you doing it. Thank you so much. And we hope to see everyone next time on Heart to Heart Interviews with CI Heartland. Bye, everybody.
Bye, thanks.